Hello, world. My name is Emerzian. I'm the VP of Sales here at Bright World. Welcome to the Dominate Now podcast. Today, I have Nikkos Rios on the podcast with us. He's the Chief Strategy Officer here at Bright World. And we're just basically going to give you guys a little spiel into our minds. You guys can take a little swim into our mind and see what we find. The first thing I want to talk about is why sales is a game changer. I think that we've all had really dead-end jobs, right? You've had them, I've had them. You know, it's really
100%.
hard. It's really hard to have high self-esteem when you're in a job where there's a glass ceiling, and it might be demeaning. It might be an environment where you're not allowed to thrive. Sales is a game changer because there's not really begging for a raise. There's not really politics. It's like the results speak for itself, right?
100%.
It's like you go play baseball, and you might be a way better hitter than the guy in front of you, but his dad's the coach, right?
Yep.
In sales, it's cutthroat, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, your dad's the coach, but you're not getting any deals.
Everybody's at the same level, right?
100%. It's an equalizer. It's a game changer. So I just wanted to, pick your brain a little bit on, sales in general and how sales has been a game changer in your life. Obviously, you've killed it. You made over $500,000 last year. Oops. I told the world what's going on. But yeah, dude, you're a guy that's obviously sharp, but to make $500,000, that's something people strive for their whole life. So give them a little insight on who Nikkos Rios is and how sales has been a game changer in your life.
Yeah, man. Sales is, it's definitely a game changer. If you didn't know, I've only been in sales for 2 years now, right? So my first year I made 150, and then last year I don't think I broke $500,000, but I think I came close to about 400, which is still crazy, right? So sales for me, I wasn't, it's not like a 9 to 5 where I'm just going there and I know what I'm going to make hourly. With sales, if I know that I'm uncapped, right, I'm going to put the work in, right? I'm going to work 14, 16 hour days so that I can actually get to where I want to be. Okay, because sales, it's created opportunity. I don't have to clock into work. I can take weekends off. I can take my family out. So it's definitely been a game changer. And it's not only made me better communicator, it's made me, a better person in myself, right? I'm reading more. I'm meditating. I'm waking up early to actually go work out now. I'm not lazy. I'm not playing video games for 12 hours straight. So it's definitely been a game changer. And, I've had to sacrifice a lot. I've moved about four to five times within the last 2 years now. So overall, man, it's been a super game changer.
I've definitely seen your energy and your state change. Like, when I first met you, you were, a little bit out of shape, and now this morning you bench press.
Damn, I was that big.
You weren't big. You're a little soft, right? And now this morning I saw you throwing up 225 a couple times on the bench press.
Yeah,
I'm just like, dude, it goes to show you that whether it's weightlifting, jiu-jitsu or sales, we're all white belts, right? Yeah. We're all white belts, and the black belt is the white belt who never quit. Mm-hmm. And so, for me, sales is all about just controlling your state, right? Because, we've all had jobs where it's even keel, man, this job just sucks. And this job is either the best thing in the entire world or the worst thing in the entire world, the highest highs and the lowest lows. And so for me, it's all about state management. Mm-hmm. I always meditate to try to, find this home screen of my mind where I'm auditing my thoughts, making sure that, I'm not letting anchors drag behind me. We went over the map of consciousness yesterday by David Hawkins in our training, and how, most people are below the 200 level of consciousness. Their threshold is low. And when I look at you, I see a guy that, has really raised his consciousness, probably never read really in your life, right?
Nope. I don't think I've ever finished a book up until probably this year.
Right. I remember you told me, I don't read at all. Yeah. And then, our 90-day challenge, it had a lot of reading involved in it. Mm-hmm. And, you're posting that you're finishing, different chapters and whatnot. We saw, you grow in all that. And so the Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins is from a book called Power versus Force. And Force was talking about how you're pulling it. It's all external, and you're chasing the money. But we all know the money's too fast. You can't chase it. So power is it's the internal. It's the intrinsic. It's everything you already have. It's saying, I'm not chasing wealth. I already have wealth. And then all of a sudden, you're not chasing the money. You're attracting it. And so someone like you who's really changed their state, you're working out now, you're reading, what do you feel like Nikkos Rios is today compared to, maybe the insecure, less strong person that you were maybe even a year ago today?
I think back then I was kind of just living day by day, right? My goal in a year was to make $100,000, right? But now that I see the opportunity where I'm able to put in the work and my income actually reflects the amount of work I put in and the amount of hours that I put in, the amount of families that I help, right? Now I'm shooting for 1.5 million, right? And that, to me, 2 years ago, I would have been like, damn, it's going to take me 20 years, 10, 15 years to actually get to a million. But now that I know I'm in the right vehicle, I'm surrounded by great people. I have great mentors like you and Alex, right? Now I know that I can get there a lot faster as long as I put my head down and I do the work, right? I'm doing a lot of different things that I don't normally do, right? But I like how you said that the don't chase money, right? The money will come. And for me, what I focus on is, the first thing that I focus on is impact, right? We say time and time again, impact over profit. So the main thing I focus on is helping myself, helping you guys, helping our reps, right? Be the best that they can be. And while I do that, the income, the money will just flow, right? So my goal is to not make $1 million. My goal is to help 1 million families, right? Help 1 million reps, help 1 million people get to where they want to be, because I know inevitably it'll help me become what I want to be, or go where I want to go, right? So yeah, man, it's changed a lot for me. And my mindset, I think a lot of it is mindset, right? Because mindset, like I said, I was just playing games. I was going to raves. I was probably smoking marijuana and stuff like that.
Pill popping animal.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I didn't really have a purpose in life, right? And now I know what I can do, how many families I can help, how many lives I can change. And, I'm grateful for the opportunity, man.
Isn't it strange how when we consciously seek pleasure, like raves, alcohol, drugs, women, you ultimately just like fill the void with more void. And when you go out there and you weight lift at 6 a.m, you take the cold showers, you go out and knock the doors, make $400,000, you seek discipline, you ultimately get pleasure. It's like the opposite, right? It's like
100%.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. And so like a thing that I've noticed with you is it seemed like my shift that I've seen in you is like you were almost trying to be somebody else, and then at a certain point you're like, wait a minute, I'm like a B+ version of somebody else, but I'm like the motherfucking man when I'm being Nikko Rios, right? And so all of a sudden you came into your own, you started dressing better, you started, right? You noticed that you used to wear the same
100%.
T-shirt every day, and all of a sudden you got your little jacket on,
Cubics
right?
or Bright World. Right?
Exactly. So now it's like you're like realizing, the most highest form of success that I can reach is by being authentically myself. Like there's no way that I could be someone else if everyone's taken.
Yeah.
And so I love the fact that, you have a couple guys that you've brought on in this industry, and, to see when they saw you shift, it's almost like all your guys were like, okay, now we got to shift. We got to level up, because you were holding yourself to a different standard. And now they're like, if Nico's lifting in the morning, then we should probably be lifting in the morning. And if he's, forcing himself to take cold showers, we should probably help our, do that.
It's the impact.
It's the impact, man. It's showing them that, hey, man, I wasn't a guy that did this. I'm choosing to do this. I'm not saying I have to wake up in the morning. I choose to wake up in the morning.
Discipline.
I don't have to go out and knock doors and get a bunch of clients. I choose to go out and get a bunch of clients.
Yeah.
And so, if you could say something to a young 20-year-old, maybe 22-year-old hustler that has all the ambition in the world, getting out of college, what kind of message would you want to give to that person?
To be the best version of yourself, right? Do things to be the best version of yourself, and focus on the impact. Focus on helping people, because a lot of times I know a lot of people, they chase the money, like we were talking about before, and that's something that, money creates opportunity, right? But like I said, I've never actually chased the money. I always chase the impact. Like my fulfillment is seeing someone happy. My fulfillment is having a rep make what they made in a whole year in 1 month, right? My fulfillment is being able to, travel to El Salvador. We're going to go El Salvador in March to, give opportunity to those who don't have the opportunity to, make even $500 in a month or $800 in a month, whatever it is, So my message to my younger self or to anybody out there, right, is to chase the impact, right? Chase the impact that you have on people and become the best version of yourself, right? Which I felt like I've been working now. I've been reading. I've been waking up at 5:30 a.m. every single day. I used to play video games for about 8 to 12 hours a day, right? Yeah, 8 to 12 hours a day. I used to sleep. What? I used to sleep at like 3, 4 a.m., right? Wake up at 1 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What game are you playing?
I played Fortnite. I played a lot of Call of Duty growing up.
Some
So
COD.
like, yeah. So I was actually like, it was so serious that I used to compete, right, in tournaments and stuff like that. So we would stay up till dude 4 or 5 a.m.
Working on your craft.
Exactly. So it's the same thing as sales, right? I was working on my craft, but you know, that didn't really do anything for me, right? I got that kind of natural high as I was playing, but I mean, long term, that's not going to do anything for me. But now knowing that I can wake up at 5:30 a.m., even if I don't want to, I have to, so that I can actually feel good, know that I got a workout in that's benefiting my health, and know that I set myself up for the rest of the day to be successful, right? Because I can choose to sleep until 8 a.m., 9 a.m., but I choose not to because I see you waking up at 6 a.m. and I'm like, dude, I got to be like Dre, right? We're partners in this business. And if I'm not performing at my best, I can't help him, you know, and how are we supposed to help all of our reps and stuff like that? So be the best version of yourself.
I love that, man. I love that. I mean, for me, I stopped playing video games. I used to also be a super nerd back in the day.
What games?
I was like really into video games until Grand Theft Auto 5 came out.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I stopped really playing video games after Grand Theft Auto 5 is because I had 14 cars and I was a billionaire in the game, but I was living at my mom's house with $20, right? So I was like getting these massive accolades of what I call artificial bullshit progress.
No, 100%.
So I'm like, yeah, I put in 6 hours. I got 14 cars now. I got Ferrari, Lambo. I got $1 billion, right?
Yep.
So then you start thinking, I'm doing something. And then you think, okay, well, what's the difference between that artificial character, Michael, in the game and my artificial character of Andre in this world? Mm-hmm. So it's literally the same thing. You just like, you take your guy through levels and he has experiences. EXP goes up, he levels up. And next thing you know, you could do harder missions. Yeah. It's the exact same thing here in life. And so I started treating myself as almost like a video game character, saying, you know, what do I got to do to level up? What is the mission right now? Am I focusing on a side mission or am I actually on a main mission? And one of the things I think about is like everyone has a cup, okay? And when you're going through the world, we're all running with this cup. And if your cup is full, you're going to spill it onto everyone. So if you got a cup full of coffee and you're running full speed, that coffee is going to get all over you and everyone else that's around you. If you have a cup full of love and confidence and you're running through the world, every single person that you interact with, you're going to gas them up on accident. Yeah. You're going to be like, damn, girl, you're so fucking good at your job. Did you know that? She's like, what? Oh, my God, no one ever told me that. Yeah. You're going to start complimenting people like, hey, you know, you're in the line at Chick-fil-A. Hey, just want to let you know you got really pretty eyes. On accident, you're going to be making people's day because you're running with a cup full of love. Yeah. You're running
energy.
Exactly. And so, like, when I look at myself in high school and how, you know, I was an asshole, it's because I had a cup full of ego. I just thought like, I'm going to be somebody because of X, Y, and Z, but I wasn't willing to work for it. So it was like just this false ego. And it came to this like dark night of the soul I had to go through where I was just like, dude, like if you're not willing to help people and make other people's lives better, what are you doing here? Like, why are you even here? Yeah. And so like life is what you make it. Shout out Joe Dirt, right? You'll actually homos naked. But yeah, so it's like life is what you make it.
100%.
And I mean, when you see what Alex has done from, you know, starting where he started to what he's built here at Bright World, now he's not only a leader, he's a leader of leaders. Yeah. It shows you that, you know, this man created his own video game reality based upon the thoughts that he fed himself. And people could say, oh, yeah, you know, that's positivity bullshit, or he's reading Yes Man books, going to Yes Man conferences. And it's like, you've taken a shower before to clean off your body, but for some reason you feel like reading the right material, cleaning off your mind is like a once in a lifetime thing. It's like, you know, it's just a matter of doing the things that you know are right repeatedly. Yeah. And
it's crazy, bro. I'm glad that you brought that up because I would have never envisioned this, right? I was just 2 years ago, I was a rep, right? I was at the lowest of the lowest. I was getting mentored by Alex, right? I was looking up to him. And, you know, I was just learning. It was my first year in sales. And now, you know, we were in a 500 square foot office, right? And it was only like 3 people. We were filming videos on our iPhones. I was recording on my iPhone, taking notes and stuff like that. And now to see us, you know, all over California in a almost 5,000 square foot headquarters with almost 100 reps, you know, across California's partners and all that stuff. It's crazy about, you know, what the opportunity can do for you. And, you know, people can wake up and, you know, just not do anything, you know, play video games and just eat junk food and sit at home and be lazy, or you can get up and actually do something with your time and, you know, make a life for yourself, right? So that's what sales has done for me, and it's been a crazy ride, and I'm glad to be here, bro.
I mean, you've heard me say a million times, words are spells. Words are spells. You guys are constantly casting spells, and you've heard Alex say 100 million times: grow, dominate, then prosper. Grow, dominate, then prosper. And you look at a guy like you. What did you do? You grow, you dominated, and now you're prospering. And so, I came to this company already, very, very well read, very studied. And you came to this company as a straight up product of this environment. Like every single thing you've accomplished, the person you are, the energy you have, all that is from this environment. And so when people are joining a company like this, the thing that I think is so valuable is that, even if people do have a father, they're typically not taught principles. They're typically not taught how to be a man. They're typically not taught to run towards the fire, to run towards discomfort. And so I love the fact that we got guys like you that have been through it. And then the new guys that come in, they're like, who's already been through this? And it's like, look at Nikko. This dude was literally a party animal in high school, chasing every rave, every laser beam, every woman. And now money is abundantly flowing to him because he's audited his mind. He's raised his consciousness. His self-belief is not in question. Isn't it crazy how when you're like 85% sold, you can't sell nobody on anything?
No, 100%.
But once you're like fully bought 100%. In, burn the ships, all of a sudden you're like, dude, when it rains, it pours. Like everyone keeps calling me. They're all wanting solar. Why is that? It's when you make that mental shift and then the universe says, all right, you know what? He's ready to actually receive these blessings he's asking for.
You have to be a believer in your product, man. Because I know a lot of these guys are like, why the hell isn't solar selling? It's because the product sells itself, but he's not convicted 100% on himself. He feels like he can't do it. So one thing that Alex taught me before I even joined, right, in an all commission role was you have to be 100% committed. That's one thing that I always tell all of our guys is, or anybody that I try to recruit, is that you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you're going to do something and you actually want to have results, speak for it, then you have to actually be 100% committed. Right? You can't look back. You have to do everything that it takes, because if you have high goals like making 6 figures when you never made 6 figures before, you have to actually be committed and go full force, right? So
you got to be committed. And another thing that's so important is you got to have foresight, right? Like your vision, like I view God as a form of imagination. Like we have that ability to literally create a vision in our mind so vividly that you can see it, you could smell it, you can feel it. And so it's like, I love the fact that we're in a career where, we're able to literally mold our reality, and there's no one trying to stop us. This is sky's the limit type hustle, and it's beautiful that we're in a position now where we're able to help others. And so the people that are watching this podcast, my goal, my dream is to literally have everyone just say, you know what is this whole map of consciousness thing they're talking about? There's David Hawkins. What is this whole thing about? They go look it up. They find out where they're at on the consciousness scale, and they say, oh, wait a minute. If I'm operating in a low consciousness and I go with the flow, I end up in a really, really bad place. Only dead fish go with the flow, right?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
But they're all in a low vibration. But if you're in a really, really high vibration, your consciousness is really high, and you're operating in the higher frequencies, you're supposed to let go. Right? You're supposed to be detached from the outcome and just do what you do and let it happen. Because you're at a higher frequency, it takes you ultimately where you want to go. And so that goes back to my original thing, is like, I'm not forcing anything. The power is what I'm focused on, right? Like if I'm fully present in the moment and the past doesn't exist to me and the future doesn't exist to me, the person I'm talking to is also going to be brought into a state of presence. They're going to realize like, oh, damn, I'm in this bitch, right?
Yeah. No, I know that I talked to you a lot, and you told me to meditate a lot to actually feel present, because I feel like a lot of times, like sales is really great, it's rewarding, but it's hard work, right? It's draining.
Taxing.
It's taxing. I get super tired. I get burnt out. Sometimes I want to quit, or a lot of times I want to quit, but this is where I actually built that mindset, right? And I actually have all of that, I meditate a lot so that I can actually feel present in the moment. So, I mean, what are some things that you do besides meditation to actually feel present in the moment or raise that vibration of yours? Because energy is big, man, because people can read your energy. If you go into a room and your energy is real low, people are going to be like, well, who the heck is this guy, right? But if you go into a room and your energy is real high, right, people are like, damn, I want to be like this guy. Who is this guy? I want to learn from him. So what are some things that you do?
Some of the things I do are, they kind of sound corny when you say them, but I'll write the same sentence over and over and over on a piece of paper that I want to manifest, right?
Okay.
So like I might write something down like my goal is to create leaders and raise the collective consciousness of the planet. My goal is to create leaders and raise the collective consciousness of the planet. I'll write it down 45 times on a piece of paper. I'll look myself in the mirror in the eyes for 2 minutes straight, and I'll have a full-on conversation without opening my mouth. Like, you're the
in your head?
In my head. Just a full back and forth conversation. Like, are you really giving it all you got? And the mirror looks back at me and says, you fucking are.
Damn.
But you could do a little bit more. 2 minutes, just stare yourself in the mirror and like really mean mug your soul. Look into that mirror and just say, is the soul that's in this body right now really in charge, or are you going on autopilot?
Damn.
Am I really deliberately being self-possessed, or am I just going with the flow of the world?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so for instance, when everyone, this is a little controversial.
Okay.
But like when everyone was doing the mask stuff, right? The COVID stuff, the vaccines, I'm taking a bullet between the eyes before I take a vaccine, because that's how I operate.
Yeah.
I'm not going based upon what someone else told me. I could think for myself. I can make my own decisions.
Yeah.
Right? There's certain beliefs I have that are controversial, but they're my own.
Of course.
And you can't change how I feel about me or how I feel about the world, because I've done my own homework. But at the same time, so many people's beliefs and thoughts aren't their own. They've been programmed by the system. They're basically plugged into the matrix, so to speak, and the matrix gives them all their information from the internet, from the TV, from all that. So the people that are really the outliers of society, the people that stand out, are the people that are self-educated, the people that say, I'm an autodidact, I'm self-taught, I went out of the way to do the homework, and I wanted to be well-rounded. I wanted to know about all the different religions. I wanted to know about, the occult, the hidden stuff, right? Like the secret mystery schools of Egypt. I wanted to know about everything, Amun-Ra, everything.
Yeah.
And so when you learn about these things, like, you come to different conclusions. Like, for me, I have a belief that, Christ is within me, right? And Christ is my higher self that is begging me to level up, begging me to make the impact that I was here to make.
Yeah.
And my lower self is like, man, you're good. You got all this money. You got people that, think you're this and that. You're doing great. You got this beautiful girl over here. This is my lower self telling me to calm down, slow down. You're doing all right. You're doing good. Look at all your peers. You're doing fine. And then my higher self is like, man, you're here to make a fucking mark on this world. You're here to leave a blue check mark on everyone that ever met you.
Yeah.
Right? You're verified by the people that met you. Fuck Twitter, right? You're verified by the people that met you. They felt your energy. You changed their life, right? Yeah. So there's certain people here that said, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be the man I am today without Nico Rios. Nico Rios actually got me out of my shell. There's certain people that say the same thing about me. And so for us to be in these positions, to be helping and impacting, the next generation, whether they're younger than us or older than us, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Leadership doesn't have an age. People don't judge me on my age. They judge me on my wisdom.
Yeah.
Same with you. And so I just think it's a blessing to be in the position we're in. We put in 100%. The work. We're still growing every day. None of us are a finished product, right? We're all continuously a work in progress. We're all work in progress. Even Alex, right? He's, very successful. But he's still growing, right? We're all still shooting towards the sun, right? We're trying to just level up and be that beacon of light for those who need it. And so, we'll finish up this podcast here pretty soon, but I just want any of you guys to know, if you guys are ever having any sort of mental issues, whether that's, confidence issues, you don't know which direction to take, you might have just got dumped by your girlfriend, anything that you guys are going through, Nico, Rios, and I, you can reach us on Instagram or on Twitter. Like, we're here to help you guys out. This is called the Dominate Now podcast, and we're trying to help you dominate your life. It's not all about money. If you got all the money in the world, but you're spiritually impoverished, you're not wealthy. Yeah. I used to tell people, when I used to work at, when I was a busboy, right? I had no money back in the day. I used to tell people, I'm not rich, but I'm incredibly wealthy. And they're like, what? You're a busboy. You're not wealthy at all.
Yep.
And I'm like, literally everything you're striving towards, I already have.
It's not about the dollar.
It's not about the dollar amount. It's about the feeling, right?
Yep.
So you can feel happy because you choose to. You can feel successful because you choose to. You can feel fulfilled because you choose to. And so one of my favorite lines is, your personality is going to dictate your personal reality. And so I think it's super important to know who you are, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know where you're going to be needing growth and where you're strong. And so, I want to thank you so much, Nick, for coming on this podcast, my man. And, hopefully these guys got something out of this. And if they reach out to us, you already know we're going to make an impact to these guys.
Let's do it.
So thank you so much.
Impact over profit, baby.
Boom.
Let's get it.